Hey everybody, Pierre Quinn here, and the concept that I want to share with you today is this idea of living the future in the present. So my family and I were moving to the Maryland, DC, Virginia area in a couple of weeks, and we went on a house hunting trip. And we saw a place that we really liked. But for me, it was just out of the way. It was too far from our daughter's school, too far from the church and the other groups that I'll be working with, just a little bit too far. We found another place. It was closer geographically to what we were looking for. It was a shorter distance to my daughter's school, a shorter distance to the church and the other places that we would have to go. And I was really heavily leaning, and my wife was like, okay, maybe it's a good idea. Maybe we should go to this place. But then we got home from our house hunting trip, and my wife says, something just doesn't sit right with me. That place that we were kind of leaning toward doesn't fit the picture of what the next phase of our life is going to look like. She says, the things that you're going to do in your career, the places that you go and the groups that you talk to, the things that I'm looking to do in my career, the things we want to do with our family, the influence that we've been gifted and privileged to have, that second place doesn't fit the picture. And I really think we should go with the first place. And I'm thinking, man, it's a little bit out of the way, and I don't want to make all the drives and make the adjustment, but we went with it. We went with it because we wanted to live in a place that was a better picture of the direction that we were heading in our family. So how does this make sense for us? My challenge for you really is to begin now to make adjustments in the direction that you want your life to be. Okay, here are a couple of quick examples. In high school, my friends and I did something called Tie Day Friday. And every so often on Friday, we would dress up in suits, we would dress up in ties, and we would go to class. We would march across campus, sharply dressed on our way to class, and people would say to us, "What are you doing? This isn't church. This isn't a banquet. Who are you trying to impress? What are you trying to do?" And we would just say, we feel like dressing up. And I remember a couple of times sitting and talking together, we said, one day we're going to have jobs in high school now. One day we're going to have jobs where we're important, and we have to dress up, and we'll have influence, and we'll make a difference. And we're just practicing for that now. That was in high school. It carried over a little bit to college. In college, every so often we would dress up. We would dress up sharply, shirts and ties and suits, and even bought a briefcase and would put our books in a briefcase and go to class. And people would laugh at us. They would say, "What are you doing? This isn't church. This isn't a banquet. You don't have a real job yet. Why are you dressing up? What are you doing?" And in the back of our minds was this idea: one day we're going to be in positions of influence. We're going to be in positions to make a difference, and we're just practicing now, even simply with our attire. We're practicing now for the direction that we want to go in. So here's the thing. A good friend of mine who dressed up with me in high school and in college, he's a physical therapist. And he opened up his own practice not too long ago. And he had this ribbon cutting ceremony to officially open the practice. And he's standing there. I saw it in the pictures. He's standing there. And what do you know? He's standing there in a suit and tie. And I'm thinking, yeah, that makes sense because we practiced that so many years before. Another good friend of mine who dressed up with me in high school and in college, he is a senior level project manager for a major home appliance manufacturer. And I spent some time, a couple of days with him and his family not too long ago. And he had to go to work. And then before he headed out for work, he had to grab his briefcase because he had a meeting that he was rushing to. And I remember thinking, yeah, we practiced that so many years ago of carrying the briefcase, of going to meetings, of putting ourselves in that mindset to one day this is what we're looking to do, and we're going to practice for it now. So what area in your life can you make the adjustment? I don't know what you're looking to do in your near future. If you're looking to be a doctor or a lawyer or a pastor or a teacher or some other trade. I don't know what you're looking to do, but how can you make the adjustment now? How can you practice now living the future in the present? And the more you practice living the future in the present, then the more the future seems like it'll be a very, 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 very doable reality for you. Take the time to live the future in the present.